Welcome back, my friends. Things are certainly hotting up in the country, and I'm slightly getting concerned about the whole thing, aren't you? The media now have taken one side. The police are sort of piggy in the middle, piggy being the operative word. Apparently that new programme, Little Piglets or Piggies, is shite, but we won't go into that today. That's for another time. What we need to do is talk about what is going on at the moment. I'm doing this today because tomorrow I'm off to Guernsey on my travels and doing a gig there. And then I'm coming back and I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going on holiday to see if I can find our Prime Minister, give him a nudge and said, have you been watching the telly? It's all going on. Here's something here. Concerned citizen on Twitter. It said, listen to BBC abruptly and deliberately end the conversation with former Metropolitan Police Superintendent the moment he starts telling the truth over the UK riots, which opposes the BBC and government state-sponsored narrative. Okay, well, there seems to be a lot of that going on today. And I do think the things in the country are going worse. I'm on tour at the moment. And I imagine that the newspapers would say, oh, there he is, entertaining his right-wing thugs in the audience. Well, most of my audiences are too old to be thugs, but they have the same concerns. They're not on the streets and they're not rioting and they're absolutely not looting. I think that if you're not careful, some of these guys that are looting and rioting and they're not part of the normal process of protesting are going to drag everybody into the shit. Let's not be violent. Let's not, I say let us, I don't go rioting or protesting. I'm just concerned about it, and I think I'm better inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. And what I can do on here is what I do on here, because I am concerned about the country, but I don't want people to go out rioting. And why are they throwing stones at the police? I can understand the frustration with the police. I can understand the frustration on people's minds. And when you look at what these politicians are saying, Keir Starmer, Bardi Rubble, has said, we will come down on these people hard. They will know all about it. Don't you worry about that. Well, he didn't say, don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. I got boxed up those, as you could see. But it's not the rioters that are the problem, although one doesn't want to see rioting, does one? What is the problem is the problem. It's no good just sticking a plaster on a broken leg. You've got to set the bone. And it's amazing how people have been shut up. There was that lovely girl, Donna, who was a police commissioner. She put it really, really well on the whatever she put it on, but had to remove it because of, well, it's not the right thing to say. And I don't think for 1 minute that people are writing about the murder of these 3 poor children up in Southport by this young 17-year-old. Well, he's going to plead mental illness, isn't he? God. Anyway, let's not go on about that. I don't think they're rioting about that. I think that people are rioting because they've had enough. They've had enough at looking at adverts, and there's more people from non-white people than there is white people. Why are they doing that? Why is the lefty woke people stoking this and then blaming Nigel Farage? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. People just want a level playing field. And having said that, I had a Pakistani man walk through my door today in my village and carried my television out the front door. Did you know that? Yeah. He was a nice guy, actually. He worked for Curry's. And I'd bought a new TV, and he had turned up with it and took the old one away and the box. And he was great, and he had a great sense of humour. He was with a Bulgarian chap, of course he was, and this man was a lovely Pakistani. His accent was quite strong, so I said, where are you from? And he said, originally Pakistan. I said, oh, blimey, well, you know, let's hope we don't start a riot in this front room between 3 nationalities. No, but we all got on like a house on fire, and he gave me this lovely television. So I decided to buy one because I don't think there's going to be a riot in the Hamble where I live, and there's no television shops for me to go and loot one. So stop it, everybody. If you want to get your message across, don't start thumping policemen or setting fire to police cars. And you police have really got to own up for a little bit, really. You have, not own up, not if you're doing anything wrong. You're doing what you're told to by your woke bosses. Stand there and stop these right-wing thugs at any cost. And of course, they're just young lads, these policemen. Well, they're not policemen, are they? They're young graduates that need a degree. Doesn't a degree tell you that you should not pin old women to the ground and whatever? But it's the rioting, and I don't think that gets the message across. Yes, the message I'm getting from people is that enough is enough. So last night I was on the Isle of Wight, obviously the centre of right-wing thuggery. No, I was in a small little theatre, the Medina Theatre, only holds about 400 people. And it was a lovely, it's just very conversational. And I was chatting to these people. And a lot of people sharing the same views. They all, not with me, they don't particularly share my views, because when they listen to me on stage, it's a slightly bonkers version of the real me. But they all had the same thing. And they were black people and white people together having a laugh. And that's what we do in Britain. When things go wrong, we have a laugh. When we're frightened, we have a laugh. When we're sad, we have a laugh. There's probably a lot of laughing going on inwards. Do you know, every morning, talking of a level playing field, see the newspapers, the Daily Mail, for instance, it talks about right-wing thugs, far right. And then it tends to print tons and tons and tons of pictures of ethnic minority people that have murdered someone, beat someone up, stole a watch, killed his girlfriend, did this, did that. Pictures of people with machetes running around, you know, they do that. And then they say, well, are they stoking are they playing up to are they fueling the bigots, people like me? Every time you open the paper, they see these and what these young journalists, these young wokey white birds, they scribble away, don't they, about right-wing thugs. Let us have a look at the definition of the word thug. And there's a couple of them. A violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal. Another version, a violent, lawless, or vicious person, especially one who commits a crime such as assault, robbery, or murder. Well, I didn't see many of them in my audience last night. They were just ordinary people. And strangely enough, do you know where the word thug comes from? Do you know, Ollie, where that comes from? No. It's an Indian word. Thag, it was a thag, someone that robs people and then strangles them. Yeah. Indian word, lots of Indian words in the British language. Bungalow, that's an Indian word. I suppose thug and bungalow, they're sort of linked, aren't they, really? Because they've both got nothing up top. Oh, boom, boom. But what it doesn't stand for is people who are taken to the street. It does not stand for people who are taken to the streets to protest. Protest, yes, or even protest. It's these new teeth. I think they're getting a bit loose. People are just sticking up for themselves. And they're protesting that the government can't govern. The PM has given 24 million to protect mosques. Anything to protect children and British soldiers being carved up on our streets? That's what people are thinking. That's what people are thinking. And then the police turn up looking, you know, like Rorke's Drift there, the thin red line, front line fire. And it all goes to pear-shaped, doesn't it? As soon as the protesters hit the streets, the police turn up, they turn into a SAS hit squad, don't they? And they sort of pride themselves in arresting a 73-year-old woman and helpless people pinned to the ground with 6 bloody great coppers trying to handcuff them. But they ignore the Asian and Muslim gangs, right? Some of them brandishing weapons. Did you see that thing on Sky News? Oh, my God, we'll talk about that in a second. Oh, I just can't grasp what's going on. Everyone is doing their bit to fuck this country up at the moment. The media are always going to look out. You look at the Daily Mail and you realise it's written by some 12-year-old woke lefty who describes anyone who does not go along with Keir Starmer's new narrative for this country is classed as a thug. So if you want to protest about the way your country is becoming, you are a violent, lawless, vicious person who would commit a crime such as assault, robbery, or murder, according to some 12-year-old woke idiot that doesn't know what the word really stands for. Could you see that bird on Sky News? She was talking about something gobbing off, doing the normal narrative, and a load of Asian blokes, right? It must be said there were Asian guys walking behind her, holding knives and machetes, and she said nothing about it. Nothing at all, because she's been told to say nothing about the way we have racial tension in this country. We do have racial tension in this country. It is, I don't, and everyone is stoking it. The Daily Mail are stoking it. I'm not trying to stoke it. I'm just pointing it out. Probably someone would say, oh, well, you know, you're fueling the bigots, you're doing this. No, all I want is for the riots to stop and let someone stand there. Maybe it's Lee Anderson, maybe it's Nigel Farage, maybe it's even David Lammy, maybe it's Keir Starmer, Bardi Rubble. Let's get migration managed. Let's let people in this country who we want in this country. It's ridiculous what's happening. Every time you open a paper, right, this isn't more than, there's always a picture of some Asian face or an African face who's committed some heinous crime. And, you know, all the drugs in this country are an organised crime, well, at least most of it, is done by people who are not born in this country. So what are the fucking police doing arresting 73-year-old white women? You know, they just want law and order. That's what we want. It's not about colour. It's about law and order and a level playing field. You know, let's have a white family on the television. Why does everyone have to be mixed race? You know, it is fucking ridiculous. I mean, I don't mind it. A lot of my mates are mixed race. Some of my black friends are gay. They say that, don't they? But I think that's what, well, at least my audience want. That's what the majority of the people in this country want. We don't want violence. We are not thugs. We just need someone to speak for us. And of course, as soon as that person speaks up, what happens? They become the perpetrator of the violence, don't they? They become the reason that there is racial tension. So it's okay to kill the messenger, is it? I don't think it is. I think it is absolutely fucking bonkers what is going on. If you're not watching the news, driving yourself mad, you're watching the Olympics, which is a complete clusterfuck, isn't it? Right. Now, I think the Olympics has suddenly got good because the black people have turned up, haven't they? That's when it turns into a real Olympics. All we've seen so far is white people sport. You know, ones that you sit down and do it. I'm not really sure that clay pigeon shooting, air pistol shooting or archery or fencing or hockey or golf or even football has anything to do with the Olympics. And I think the Olympic Committee, when they're not defining men as women, decided, oh shit, we better put some white people sport in, otherwise it's just going to be Black Olympics. It's going to be like the Mobo Awards. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, look, come over to Ustream with me now. Take advantage of your 7 days free. Go online, ustream.com, pick your package, sign up. You invent yourself a little password and a username. And once you've got your package, once that's done, you can watch anytime on your phone, or you can go on the television and select the Ustream app and then just log in and you've got it. So come over with me now, and it's I don't know, £3 plus VAT. It's £4.79 including VAT per month. That's price of a pint, isn't it really? And your money goes to keeping this channel alive. So we can speak up for the majority of the people in this country of all colours who want a level playing field, and we want to see some law and order on all sides in this country. Let's do it. And we've got to stop the fucking boats. Okay, come over to Ustream now. Hello everybody, Davidson here, and I'm here to tell you of an exciting, wonderful thing. You can have a 7-day free trial to get all of the Ustream package, if you pardon the expression. Yes, you can grab my package for 7 days for no money, and then $3.99 plus VAT per month thereon afterwards. So go to ustream.com, sign up and get your free 7-day trial. You will love it. Your knickers will dry out later.